everything. Ethan Carter spent years searching for the sister he lost, only to discover that finding her changed the meaning of family forever. After the fall of Victor Blackwell's organization, Ethan and Olivia finally stepped away from the darkness that had controlled their lives for a decade. They returned to a peaceful lakeside garden in Washington state, surrounded by waterfalls, wildflowers, mountains, and clear blue water. For the first time in years, there were no secrets waiting to destroy them. No hidden enemies. No unanswered questions. Only the quiet possibility of a new beginning. The conspiracy victims who had suffered because of Victor's actions finally received justice. The evidence Ethan, Olivia, and Harper Whitmore uncovered exposed years of hidden crimes, allowing families who had been ignored to finally learn the truth. The world discovered how easily powerful people could hide behind influence and reputation. But the truth survived. And that was the victory Ethan had been searching for. As the investigation ended, Ethan accepted something he struggled with for years. The past could not be changed. No amount of answers could return the lost time between him and Olivia. The years they spent apart, the memories they missed, and the pain they carried would always be part of their story. But they no longer had to let that pain control their future. Olivia began creating a new life outside the shadows. She no longer needed to hide behind another identity or run from people who wanted her silent. She was no longer the missing sister from an old investigation. She was a survivor who helped reveal the truth. Harper continued helping missing person cases, using the knowledge gained from Olivia's investigation to help others who had been forgotten. The work that once uncovered one hidden story became a mission to uncover many more. Even former enemies began respecting Ethan. They saw that the man who once searched for revenge had become someone who valued justice, honesty, and protecting others. Ethan learned that forgiveness was not about forgetting what happened. It was about refusing to let the past decide who he would become. The family that had been broken by secrets slowly healed. The silence that separated them for years was replaced by trust, understanding, and the memories they could finally create together. Looking back, Ethan realized the midnight phone call was not just a strange moment that changed his life. It was the beginning of everything. That call gave him the courage to question the truth, the strength to search for answers, and the chance to find the sister he thought he had lost forever. The impossible became real. The mystery became a journey. The loss became a second chance. The midnight phone call that seemed impossible became the moment Ethan discovered the sister he lost, the truth everyone hid, and the family he thought he would never have again. Because even after years of silence, the truth always finds a way to return. Ethan searched for answers about his sister's death, but he discovered something terrifying. Someone had spent years making sure she remained forgotten. The secret revealed during the midnight call led Ethan away from the peaceful shores of Lake Tahoe and toward a hidden mountain village in Oregon. Surrounded by waterfalls, ancient forests, winding rivers, and valleys covered in mist, the isolated location appeared untouched by time. But beneath its quiet beauty was a story someone had tried to bury. Following the clues connected to Olivia's final night, Ethan discovered records that were never included in the official investigation. The information was scattered, hidden, and carefully protected by people who did not want the past reopened. To uncover the truth, Ethan contacted Harper Whitmore, a private investigator known for solving missing person cases that others had abandoned. Harper had spent years studying disappearances that contained unusual patterns. She understood how evidence could disappear, how reports could be changed, and how powerful people could influence investigations without leaving obvious traces. Together, Ethan and Harper began examining Olivia's case from the beginning. What they found changed everything. Olivia's accident report contained false information. Important details had been altered. Evidence collected from the scene was missing. Several witnesses connected to the investigation had never been properly interviewed. The official story Ethan had accepted for 10 years was not the truth. Someone had controlled the investigation. Someone had wanted Olivia's disappearance to remain unanswered. As Ethan searched deeper, another name appeared repeatedly: Mason Reed. Ethan's childhood friend had known Olivia before she disappeared. He had been one of the last people connected to her final days, yet he had never revealed everything he knew. The discovery forced Ethan to question the people closest to him. The truth was no longer hidden by strangers. It was hidden by people who had been part of his life. The investigation revealed that Olivia had not been living a normal life before the accident. She had been researching secrets involving powerful local figures and uncovering information that could damage influential people. She was not simply caught in an accident. She had discovered something dangerous. Something someone wanted to protect at any cost. For Ethan, the possibility was painful and impossible to ignore. For 10 years, he had mourned his sister. He had visited the places they shared, remembered her voice, and carried the weight of believing he would never see her again. But now there was another possibility. What if he had been grieving someone who was still alive? The thought brought both hope and fear. Because if Olivia survived, then someone had spent a decade hiding her from the world. And whoever did that would do anything to keep the truth buried. Ethan refused to stop. He no longer searched for closure. He searched for Olivia. While examining a hidden storage location connected to his sister, Ethan discovered an old journal that had escaped the original investigation. The final pages contained a message written years after Olivia's supposed death. A message that proved she had been alive long after everyone believed she was gone. The sister Ethan Carter buried in his memories had been hiding a truth powerful enough to destroy the people who wanted her silent. The hidden journal became the only path forward. Following Olivia's final clues, Ethan and Harper Whitmore traveled to a remote snowy mountain resort in Montana. Surrounded by frozen lakes, endless pine trees, and towering icy peaks, the location appeared peaceful and untouched. But beneath the cold landscape was a secret Olivia had spent years trying to expose. Deep in the mountains, Ethan and Harper discovered an abandoned research facility connected to Olivia's investigation. The forgotten building contained old files, damaged equipment, and evidence that someone had tried to erase everything connected to her work. Inside the facility, they uncovered the reason Olivia disappeared. She had discovered illegal activities involving powerful people who appeared respected in public but operated through hidden networks behind closed doors. Olivia had not been searching for trouble. She had been searching for the truth. Before she vanished, she collected evidence that could expose influential figures who believed their secrets were protected forever. The most important name connected to the investigation was Victor Blackwell. To the world, Victor was a successful businessman known for charity work and community influence. Behind that image was a different reality. He had built his success through manipulation, illegal operations, and carefully hidden connections. Olivia's discoveries threatened everything Victor had created. Her disappearance was not an accident. It was protection for his secrets. As Ethan uncovered more evidence, another painful truth emerged. His own family was connected to the mystery. Records revealed that Ethan's father had known parts of Olivia's investigation before she disappeared. He had information that could have changed everything but chose to remain silent. The discovery hurt Ethan more than he expected. He had spent years searching for strangers responsible for losing his sister, only to discover that people closest to him had also hidden the truth. The betrayal felt impossible to understand. Harper helped Ethan separate emotion from evidence. She reminded him that uncovering the truth required patience, not anger. Every secret had a reason, and every decision had consequences. Together, they continued searching through Olivia's hidden files. Then they found something unexpected. Evidence showed that Olivia was not alone after disappearing. Someone had protected her. Someone had helped her create a new identity and survive away from the world that believed she was dead. For Ethan, the discovery changed everything. The sister he lost was no longer only a painful memory. She was a real person who had been fighting a hidden battle for years. Every clue brought him closer to understanding what Olivia sacrificed and why she never returned. But the final discovery inside the abandoned facility created a new mystery. A hidden file contained recent evidence connected to Olivia. The records proved she had been alive much later than anyone believed. And the most shocking detail was that someone close to Ethan had helped hide her all along. Ethan spent years searching for the person who took his sister away, but the truth revealed something more painful. His own family had helped hide her. The discovery inside the Montana facility led Ethan and Harper Whitmore to a forgotten desert mansion in Arizona. Surrounded by towering red cliffs, hidden caves, and endless golden landscapes, the abandoned property looked like a place where secrets could disappear forever. Inside the mansion, Ethan found hidden family records that had been locked away for years. The documents revealed the truth about his parents. They knew Olivia was alive. They had known that she survived the night everyone believed she died, but they chose to keep the secret from Ethan. At first, Ethan felt betrayed. The people he trusted most had allowed him to grieve for a sister who was still living somewhere in the world. But as Harper helped him examine the evidence, another truth began to appear. His parents were not protecting themselves. They were protecting Olivia. After Olivia uncovered corruption connected to powerful figures, she became a target. The information she collected threatened people who had spent years building their influence through hidden crimes. Keeping Olivia's survival secret was the only way to keep her alive. The danger came from an organization operating behind respected businesses and public figures. They controlled information, manipulated investigations, and removed anyone who threatened their power. At the center of the operation was Victor Blackwell. Victor had used his reputation as a successful businessman to hide his involvement. Behind his public image was a network built on control, fear, and corruption. Olivia's investigation had exposed the foundation of everything he created. That was why she had to disappear. As Ethan and Harper uncovered financial records connecting Victor's organization to multiple crimes, Ethan struggled with conflicting emotions. Part of him wanted to blame everyone who kept the truth from him. Another part understood that Olivia's survival required impossible choices. The truth was not as simple as revenge. Sometimes people had to hide the ones they loved to protect them. The evidence revealed that Olivia's disappearance was carefully planned. She created a new identity, abandoned her old life, and stayed hidden because returning would have placed everyone around her in danger, including Ethan. For years, Ethan believed his sister was taken from him. Now he realized she had sacrificed her own happiness to protect others. The discovery changed his mission. He no longer wanted only to expose the people responsible. He wanted to make sure Olivia never had to run again. But revealing the conspiracy created a dangerous decision. If Ethan exposed Victor Blackwell publicly, Olivia's location and identity could become known to the same people hunting her. If he stayed silent, the people responsible could continue hurting others. The choice became more difficult with every discovery. As Ethan prepared to reveal the truth, he found one final piece of evidence hidden inside the Arizona mansion. An old recording. A message left behind by Olivia herself. The recording contained her final words before disappearing. And at the end of the message, Olivia revealed the name of the person who betrayed her. Ethan spent a decade grieving his sister, but seeing her alive again created a pain deeper than losing her. For years, Ethan imagined what he would do if Olivia somehow returned. He believed finding her would erase the suffering, answer every question, and repair the emptiness left behind. But reality was different. Finding Olivia did not erase the lost years. It forced Ethan to face them. Following the clues from the hidden recording, Ethan and Harper Whitmore traveled to a private island near the Florida Keys. Surrounded by turquoise waters, peaceful beaches, palm trees, and towering ocean cliffs, the location seemed impossible to connect with the mystery that had haunted Ethan for a decade. Yet hidden away from the world was the sister everyone believed was gone. Olivia Carter was alive. The moment Ethan saw her, every memory he had carried for years became real again. The person he had mourned, searched for, and remembered was standing in front of him. But she was not the same person who disappeared. Olivia had survived by creating a new identity and living far away from the life she once knew. She had changed everything about herself to avoid the people who wanted her silent. Returning was never an option. Not because she forgot Ethan, because she was trying to protect him. Olivia revealed that after discovering Victor Blackwell's corruption, she became a threat to a powerful organization. The evidence she collected could expose years of illegal activities, hidden financial crimes, and the people who controlled them. She knew that if Victor found her, he would not stop until every piece of evidence disappeared, including Ethan. The truth was painful for Ethan to accept. His sister had not abandoned him. She had sacrificed her entire life to keep him safe. The years of silence were not caused by a lack of love. They were caused by fear. The damage created by their separation could not be undone. Ethan had spent years believing Olivia was gone forever, while Olivia had spent those same years watching from a distance, knowing she could not return. But the past was no longer their only concern. Victor Blackwell had discovered that Olivia's evidence still existed. Desperate to protect his empire, Victor launched a final attempt to erase everything connected to the investigation. He targeted the remaining files, the witnesses, and anyone who could reveal the truth. This time, Ethan and Olivia faced the danger together. With Harper organizing the evidence and connecting the financial records, they began exposing the full scale of Victor's operation. They discovered that Olivia's disappearance was only one part of a much larger conspiracy. Many innocent people had suffered because of the same organization. Families had lost loved ones. Investigations had been manipulated. Truth had been buried for years. Ethan's mission changed. He was no longer searching only for answers about his sister. He was protecting the truth she risked everything to uncover. But before Victor disappeared completely, he revealed one final secret designed to destroy their hope. Olivia was not the only person who vanished on that night 10 years ago. The truth Ethan Carter wanted for 10 years finally arrived, but instead of bringing peace, it revealed a mystery far larger than Olivia's disappearance. After discovering that Olivia was not the only person who vanished that night, Ethan, Olivia, and Harper Whitmore traveled to a luxury vineyard estate in Napa Valley, California. Surrounded by rolling hills, olive trees, stone pathways, and breathtaking sunset views, the peaceful location became the center of their final investigation. Hidden among the evidence were records that connected multiple disappearances across different states. People who had questioned powerful organizations. Witnesses who knew too much. Individuals who threatened to expose hidden crimes. They had all disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Olivia's case was not an isolated tragedy. It was part of a much larger operation. The organization behind the disappearances had spent years controlling information, protecting influential people, and removing anyone who challenged their power. They used money, connections, and fear to keep their secrets hidden. At the center of everything was Victor Blackwell. His goal was never only to silence Olivia. He wanted to control every piece of evidence that could expose the corruption surrounding him. The investigation revealed that powerful businessmen, officials, and respected figures had protected the conspiracy for years. They created a system where the truth could disappear before anyone had the chance to discover it. For Ethan, the discovery was overwhelming. He spent 10 years believing Olivia's disappearance was one terrible event. Now he understood it was part of a war between truth and those determined to bury it. Olivia finally explained why she stayed hidden for so long. After uncovering the organization's secrets, she realized returning home would put Ethan and everyone around him in danger. The only way to protect the people she loved was to disappear completely. The decision destroyed her own life, but it kept others alive. Ethan struggled with the years they lost. No explanation could return the moments they missed. No truth could bring back the birthdays, memories, and ordinary days stolen from them. But Ethan accepted something important. The past could not be changed. Only the future could be protected. Olivia began rebuilding her identity after years of hiding. She was no longer the missing sister from an old case file. She was a survivor who had fought to expose the truth. Together, Ethan and Olivia prepared for the final confrontation with Victor Blackwell. Harper organized the evidence, connecting financial records, witness statements, and hidden documents that could finally bring the conspiracy into the light. Slowly, the public began learning the truth. Victor's reputation collapsed. The people who once protected him started distancing themselves. The organization that controlled the disappearances began losing its power. For the first time in years, Ethan and Olivia gained allies who believed their story. But the final evidence contained one last shocking discovery. A hidden document revealed the person who originally ordered Olivia's disappearance. The name written inside belonged to someone Ethan had trusted his entire life. Ethan Carter searched for his sister for 10 years, but the final battle would reveal whether the truth could survive against powerful enemies. After exposing Victor Blackwell's organization, Ethan, Olivia, and Harper Whitmore prepared for the confrontation that would determine whether years of hidden crimes would finally be revealed. Their final destination was a coastal fortress in Maine. Surrounded by violent ocean waves, towering cliffs, a distant lighthouse, and dark storm clouds covering the sky, the fortress became the place where the truth would either survive or disappear forever. Victor knew his empire was collapsing. The evidence against him was spreading. His allies were abandoning him, and the secrets he protected for years were becoming public. With everything falling apart, Victor made one final attempt to escape. He planned to destroy the remaining evidence, disappear from the world, and leave behind the damage he had created. But this time Ethan was prepared. The man who once searched only for answers had become someone fighting for justice. He no longer wanted revenge. He wanted the truth to be known. Instead of attacking Victor through anger, Ethan used the evidence Olivia risked her life to collect. Every hidden record, financial connection, and witness statement became part of a case that could no longer be ignored. Olivia revealed the final proof connecting Victor to the disappearances and corruption that had affected countless innocent people. The truth finally reached the world. Victor Blackwell, once respected as a powerful businessman, was exposed as the person responsible for years of manipulation and suffering. Authorities began investigating the organization. The public learned how easily powerful people had hidden behind wealth and influence. The image Victor created for himself disappeared completely. But the greatest victory was not seeing Victor lose his power. It was seeing Ethan and Olivia finally reclaim the life stolen from them. For years, Ethan carried the pain of believing his sister was gone forever. Olivia carried the pain of knowing she could not return. Now they no longer had to live with secrets. The wounds from the past remained, but they were no longer controlled by them. Ethan slowly rebuilt his relationship with Olivia. He understood that she never left because she stopped caring. She left because she cared too much. Their family, once broken by silence and hidden truths, began healing. The search that started with grief ended with understanding. Ethan learned that justice was not about making enemies suffer. It was about preventing others from experiencing the same pain. Together, Ethan and Olivia completed the mission that had started a decade earlier. They exposed the truth. They protected the innocent. They ended the conspiracy. As the storm clouds cleared above the Maine coastline, Ethan believed the nightmare was finally over. But while reviewing the evidence recovered from Victor's fortress, he discovered one final hidden file. The document was connected to Olivia's disappearance. And inside it was information that proved the truth they uncovered was only part of a much larger secret. Ethan Carter spent years searching for the sister he lost, only to discover that finding her changed the meaning of family forever. After the fall of Victor Blackwell's organization, Ethan and Olivia finally stepped away from the darkness that had controlled their lives for a decade. They returned to a peaceful lakeside garden in Washington state, surrounded by waterfalls, wildflowers, mountains, and clear blue water. For the first time in years, there were no secrets waiting to destroy them. No hidden enemies. No unanswered questions. Only the quiet possibility of a new beginning. The conspiracy victims who had suffered because of Victor's actions finally received justice. The evidence Ethan, Olivia, and Harper Whitmore uncovered exposed years of hidden crimes, allowing families who had been ignored to finally learn the truth. The world discovered how easily powerful people could hide behind influence and reputation. But the truth survived. And that was the victory Ethan had been searching for. As the investigation ended, Ethan accepted something he struggled with for years. The past could not be changed. No amount of answers could return the lost time between him and Olivia. The years they spent apart, the memories they missed, and the pain they carried would always be part of their story. But they no longer had to let that pain control their future. Olivia began creating a new life outside the shadows. She no longer needed to hide behind another identity or run from people who wanted her silent. She was no longer the missing sister from an old investigation. She was a survivor who helped reveal the truth. Harper continued helping missing person cases, using the knowledge gained from Olivia's investigation to help others who had been forgotten. The work that once uncovered one hidden story became a mission to uncover many more. Even former enemies began respecting Ethan. They saw that the man who once searched for revenge had become someone who valued justice, honesty, and protecting others. Ethan learned that forgiveness was not about forgetting what happened. It was about refusing to let the past decide who he would become. The family that had been broken by secrets slowly healed. The silence that separated them for years was replaced by trust, understanding, and the memories they could finally create together. Looking back, Ethan realized the midnight phone call was not just a strange moment that changed his life. It was the beginning of everything. That call gave him the courage to question the truth, the strength to search for answers, and the chance to find the sister he thought he had lost forever. The impossible became real. The mystery became a journey. The loss became a second chance. The midnight phone call that seemed impossible became the moment Ethan discovered the sister he lost, the truth everyone hid, and the family he thought he would never have again. Because even after years of silence, the truth always finds a way to return.